Yes, you're really my cuddle buddy. Oh, we're live now. I was just explaining to everybody that Dex is my cuddle buddy, and one day we're gonna get together and cuddle while we execute trades together. Oh, I'm
Oh,
getting an incoming call. All right, everyone, it's the one and only V the Guerrilla Economist coming to you live. It's Rogue Money Radio. It's Friday. You know what time it is, and we have on a guest that needs no introduction. He is the man of the hour. He is the titan, the tyrant of the Terrordome of trade. Is none other than Dex the Algocapitalist. You can find him on the Pulse. What's your website again? PulseWave.
PulseWaveTrading.com.
PulseWave Trading. You got so many like emails and this, it got me all twisted, bro. Got me
I'm
all
gonna get it together one of these days.
Yeah, you can follow him there. And also, guys, check out his trade. He has a trading academy. If you want to learn how to trade, if you want to learn how to make a buck in this cash machine that's called Wall Street, while everybody's out there thinking, "Oh my God, it's going to collapse tomorrow," it's not. If you've been listening to the Trading Dome, you will hear Dex emphatically lay out why the majority of the fearmongers are wrong. Actually, all of them are. And what's really going on with the market and how the market and the physical economy. You're not going to understand the game unless you understand the cardinal rule #1 of the Trading Terrordome, and that is the market and the physical economy are two different things. With that being said, Dex the Vulcan, aka the Algocapitalist, aka the Tyrant of the Terrordome. Welcome aboard, sir.
What up? What up? What up? What's up, fam? It's good to
What's
be
going
back.
on, man? Yeah, it's great to be back. It's great for you to be back. I missed you. Early in the week, we didn't do our show, so I had to, cry myself into a pillow. They were gone.
It's all good, my man.
It was mostly my fault. I had family obligations that couldn't make it that popped up in the last second.
If it ain't
But
you, it's me.
yeah. What's
If
up?
it ain't you, it's me. You know
It
that.
ain't exactly, man. But we pick up where we leave off.
You know it.
We keep rocking and rolling. So
That's the
what's
only
up,
way.
man? Before we went live, this is how much of a boss this guy is. Before we went on the air, we were going live, and the master of the flux capacitor, aka CJ, the producer extraordinaire, was in the background working the flux capacitors and the dilithium crystals, as well as turning on the turntables because he does DJ all at the same time, making sure the airwaves are coming out crispy and clean, and we are broadcasting on all new technology. You can find us everywhere. We are live streaming right now. Where are we live streaming right now, CJ? Are we on Periscope? Where are we?
Periscope, roguemoney.net, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, roguemoney.net, live. Yeah, so you can't escape us. There's no escaping us. We are.
That's what's up,
dude. We are. You cannot escape us. You can run as you may. You can hide as you might, but you cannot escape. You cannot escape the might of the gorilla and his team. You just can't. It's not going to happen. So yeah, so we're just doing our thing over here. So, but while we're doing this and CJ setting all this stuff up, what was Dex doing? Dex was, executing trades. He was talking to his students in the trading room, telling them where where the stops are at, telling them what the exit points are at. I mean, this guy was just killing. This guy's a boss. This guy's a boss, an absolute boss. He's the real deal, Holyfield. He's probably one of a handful of look, YouTube. You got billions of guys out there creating content, but you can count on one hand actually how many guys are actual traders who actually trade on YouTube. Dex is one of those dudes, and he's legit. He'll tell you what. And any trader that tells you they never had a loss, never had their face ripped off, is a liar, and so he's out to scam you of your money. Dex will tell you, hey man, you win some, you lose some, but the whole overall play of the game is to win more than you lose, and that's what my man Dex does. So with that being said, Dex, what's up, buddy?
Hey man, you give me way too much credit, man. Truth be told, I'm whack, man. I'm whack. You don't want to follow me. You don't want to listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't want to tell everybody that 100% of your stock is in Occidental Petroleum. I don't want to tell anybody that. Like Al Gore, you have the Al Gore portfolio, 100% of stock in Occidental Petroleum.
Well, actually, that's not all true. I had 50% of my money still tied up in WorldCom and Tyco, and then the rest of it is still at Bear Stearns.
Well, let's not forget about Man Financial, aka MF Global.
Oh,
right?
Now you just exposed me with the Man Financial. Why you have to go there like that?
Let's not forget about those guys. I mean, you have some history with those guys, huh?
Real talk, I do. They used to be my clearing firm.
Yep. Yep.
They used to clear for pretty much a lot of futures brokers. I think at one point, man, they may have had like 100 brokers. Seriously, I'm not kidding.
I believe it.
It was something monstrous, here in the States anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, so I can't front. That's why I took it personal with the whole John Corzine debacle. I took all that personal. That's why I had to do the series of videos I did.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, I'm whack. You don't want to listen to me, man. Look, I mean, come on. Who does live trading? Showing you live trading. Who does that? No one does that. I'm whack. Don't follow me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, you don't. You're just a crazy guy. You're just a nut job. This is who you are. Just crazy.
Yeah, I try to bring something different. I don't just like to be just another voice crying in the wilderness. I like to demonstrate and show and prove what I'm saying. If I can't prove what I'm saying, then I don't need to be saying it. So what I do is I tell you things ahead of time so you can say, the dude is out of his mind. And then I demonstrate it live in front of everybody ahead of time so you can see for yourself what all this is all about. A lot of people, like you said, they claim to be analysts and they do stuff on YouTube and claim to have, charting methodologies or what have you, but you've never seen them trade.
No, they don't do that.
You've never seen a live example.
Right.
With real money in real markets. Never.
Well, Ron Insana trades. He trades on a virtual exchange in his that he created in his own basement.
Oh my goodness, the Ron Insana coin.
This guy, do you remember the Ron Insana days? This idiot came out of nowhere, and he was on like every other day. He was on CNBC, and people were listening to this guy like he was a market genius. Never traded a day in his life, and then when finally pressed, "Hey man, do you trade?" Well, I trade a virtual index, in my own home.
Speaking of virtual currencies or cryptocurrencies.
Yeah,
didn't you have a guy on your show like mad weeks ago saying that Bitcoin was going to go to 1,500?
Yep.
Didn't you have some guy on your show saying that? The guy must be a genius because it ain't sure enough happened.
That was Cliff High, brother.
Got to be a genius.
Yep.
I'm not talking about Cliff. There you go.
That was you crazy man.
The Algocapitalist told you ahead of time what was going to be, and that's what it did.
You. Yeah,
and I warned people about gold too, and sure enough, it did exactly as we said it was going to do. So now the question is, what's next? Well,
what is next?
I was warning people to not get too greedy up here at these lofty levels with the Bitcoin, and that you may want to consider taking some money off the table. Those that listen to me are going to have a very nice weekend. Those that do not listen to me are going to be nervous over the weekend.
I had a nice weekend with Bitcoin, bro. I'll be honest with you. I bought some Ethereum too, so I'm happy, man.
Oh, so you're one of those guys that listen. You don't have a hard head.
No, I don't have a hard head. I'm very teachable. I'm also palatable and very malleable as well.
I need to address something else since we're on the Bitcoin thing. I see one of the questions in the room. It says, to ask me what my opinion is about Vin's theory Bitcoin created by AI.
Oh, all right. Vin Armani.
Okay, here we go. It's one thing you have to understand about AI, artificial intelligence, is that technically speaking, there is no artificial intelligence. There's no such thing as AI. All right? Let me say that one more time. There is no such thing as AI.
That's what Cliff High says.
From an organic sense of the word. All right. If Cliff High agrees with me, then there's my proof right there. All right. Cliff High is way more advanced than most people when it comes to these categories. Yep. And I'm here to tell you that it is not true. You can't. There's no such thing. In order for a computer to be true AI, artificial intelligence, that would make it an alien life form in and of itself. Ontologically speaking, a computer cannot create anything aside from its programming or coding. A computer is nothing more than a glorified calculator. It spits out data that you give it. You control it, you program it, tell it what to do, and then it takes those algorithms that you've designed it in, and then it spits out a result. A computer can't do anything besides what you tell it. It's a bunch of variables. You can have an infinite amount of variables and a string of patterns connecting to the infinite amount of variables. Therefore, it makes it seem as if the computer is smart and knows something where all it's doing is pulling from its unlimited data sources to give you an answer.
Right.
All right. So that is what an artificial AI does. The way they're selling it to you is if it's human. All right. Ontologically, it's still sand and glass. All right. Circuitries, microchips. That's what it is. It's nothing more than that. It's man-made. It's a created thing. You cannot create something superior to yourself.
Right.
A computer will never, ever be better than a human being. Can you make supercomputers that can beat a human being at chess? Of course you can,
right.
Because you can make the computer know every possible move that can be made, and you can give it thousands and thousands of lines of code, and you can program all the probabilities into it, and it can think of it in a split second, where the human brain will not be able to move as fast or think as fast. So in that regard, you can say, oh, the computer is superior to the human being. No, it's only superior when it comes to mundane tasks, if you will. Okay, so there's no such thing as a smart computer, because when you define the word smart, we're talking about the ability to intellectualize and conceptualize thoughts and ideas and bring them into fruition. A computer cannot do anything outside of what it was designed to do. Case in point, most people who are listening to us by way of the internet right now are doing so via a smartphone or tablet or desktop or laptop or some other electronic type device connected to the internet. That device, unless it was designed and coded to do so and given the ability to carry out said task, will not be able to get up and say, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to go watch TV. It can't. You have to design and build legs for the thing so it can even walk. Then you have to put the code in it to make it so that it knows what to do and to walk. So a computer, you can give it a will per se by putting lines of code in it to make it randomly decide different things outside of its norm, but it can't carry out those tasks physically because you haven't given it limbs. Hence, they're trying to introduce you now the android, the robot things. They're trying to make this just like the movie AI, so that now the computer not only has the ability for its own volition, algorithmically speaking, but now it can carry out said will like a human being would. Like you could say, I'm thirsty. I'm going to go to the corner store here and I'm going to get me something to drink. Well, now the said computer will be able to say, we've now decided and selected from our zillions of lines of code and algorithms that it is now time at this moment to get up and to go to the store and get a drink. Outside of its programming, it does not have the ability to decide that. See, they're trying to sell you a bit of goods. Because the computer has billions of lines of code, it can randomly select one of those things based on like game theory, if you will, based on odds and things and percentages, and it gets deep. And so it makes you think the computer can think now. It's not think. That's not thinking. That's selecting. That's selecting a thought process that was implanted into it. Human beings can be creative. We can create something that does not exist. All right. Technically speaking, the computer is not doing the same thing. They're going to argue with you that the computer is exactly in every way superior and identical to a human being. I don't care what they say, they're wrong. A computer doesn't have a soul. All right? A computer cannot feel remorse and sympathy and empathy and love. It cannot.
You
anger.
obviously have not seen Short Circuit with Johnny Five. You haven't.
Once again, it is programmed to do so. It cannot do anything outside of its programming. It is impossible unless you program it to do whatever a computer is going to do. It's doing it as a result of its programming, not outside of the box of that programming. They can try to make it mimic a human as much as they want. It cannot. It will not be a human brain. It is impossible. And that's the lie. That's the grand deception in this whole situation with AI. So do I think that Bitcoin was created by AI? No, Bitcoin was created by a human being. All right, the computer is not the start of the discussion. A human being is. Human beings built IBM. IBM didn't build itself. All right, so contrary to popular beliefs and opinions and superstitions, the computer did not build itself. A human being built the computer. Now, human beings have built computers to build other computers. Of course, if you ever looked in an assembly line in a manufacturing plant, especially where they build and design cars, you see machines doing that. But they were designed to do that. That's their purpose. They can't just decide all of a sudden one day, I'm not going to do this anymore. I have a new purpose. A human being can do that. That's the difference. Computer does not have a soul. All right, let me move on from that. Here's another issue too, which is
very well said, by the way. Good point.
Well, thank you. Moving on to the segue into something else. Speaking of having a soul, right now the media would have you to believe that Congress doesn't have a soul because they voted down your beloved healthcare bill.
I'm devastated. I don't know what to do now.
I've even heard people say,
"I love paying premiums. I just enjoyed it so much."
Yeah, now millions of people without health insurance.
Yeah, they're sounding the alarm because they care so much about people.
Millions of people were without health insurance, even with the Obama bill, because they couldn't afford the premiums. And the ones that did, remember, you and we went over this before. I already covered this. You still didn't have insurance when you had insurance because you have a 1-year clause that says you have to wait for all pre-existing conditions. And everything that you want to have done or need done is going to be a pre-existing condition. So you get to pay the insurance companies 1 year's worth of premiums. So it was just basically a stimulus for insurance companies because everyone who signed up was forced to sign up, forced to pay them a year's worth of premiums before they even started covering a smidgen of the cost. It was an elaborate plan. It was a great scheme if you were an insurance company. So anyhow, moving on, no government has the right to demand that you purchase anything. That is not the role of government. All right? Government's job is to, first of all, secure its borders, to have a workable military, and to make sure that its roads and bridges and things of that nature are running smoothly as they should. The role of government is not to intrude into the lives of its citizens. The government is not superior to its citizens. The government answers to its citizens. The government is made up of its citizens. When you get to the point where you don't know who the government is or who it's made up of, then you have a problem. There's no checks and balances. It can do what it wants to do. It's gone rogue. It's been rogue for decades. That's a problem. We have been living in a problem for a long time. This healthcare situation is only the tip of the iceberg. People don't even realize this. We've lost something way more than your fake healthcare that the government supposedly gave you. Remember, anything the government gives you, they can take back. All right, your human rights and your dignity are not given to you by your government. It is your natural right as a human being. All right. So this is something that needs to be understood by people. All right. When you are begging for your government to protect you from the boogeyman, you give up liberty as a result. All right. So you do not trade security with liberty. You just don't do that. But we've been slowly losing liberties. They've been eroding, just like our bridges. and our roads. They've been eroding. Our rights have eroded under multiple administrations, both Democratic and Republican. Doesn't matter who's been in office, our civil rights and all of our rights have been eroding. All right. You don't have the right to do anything anymore. You have to get government permission to do anything. You can't even leave the country without government permission. You can't even travel on the roads that you pay for with your taxes without permission from the government. You can't start a business without permission from the government. Even though we have separation of church and state, you still need permission from the government to assemble together under the auspices of a religious practice. Anything you can name today, you need permission from the government, from the state. And the state only grants said permissions once you agree in exchange to either make the government your silent partner, if it's a business, or if you give them a bribe, so to speak, in the form of a tax that they rename a license. A license is nothing more than a tax. In other words, the government gives you permission to move freely about and to do and go about your business as long as they get a cut of your business. As long as the godfather, i.e. the state, can receive some type of payment from you, some kind of extortion from you. We know that the Constitution has nothing to do with income and taxing income. It's only taxing corporate income, not your individual wages. That's why they created this Internal Revenue Service as an army in and of itself, a standing army operating outside of norms where we have our branch, our four branches of military. So this is a separate police state. And you have now multiple police states. And there was a really good scene from 24 a few years ago where two different police entities from this police state we live in met up, and they basically had a shootout. It was like, we have jurisdiction. No, we have jurisdiction. Well, we're federal, or we're not federal. We're contracting with federal, or whatever. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. And they basically had a shootout. All right. So it's sad when you don't even know who your brethren are within your organization because your bureaucracy is out of control. So we have rogue elements that have taken over the government a long time ago. We've merged corporations with government so that you don't know when the corporation ends and the government begins. All right. So that is the real problem. So the healthcare debate is just a smoke screen for what's really been happening to the eroding freedoms of the American people. And I think the biggest thing that has really happened, and multiple economists have said this, Gerald Celente, Peter Schiff, Ron Paul, the list goes on, and they said we have turned, especially Jim Rogers, he says it the most, we have turned from make sure I got it right, we've gone from a creditor nation to a debtor nation. And that is the beginning of the end for a country.
Yep, absolutely correct.
So then the question is, what's coming next? Where do you go from here? Well, that's why they've been pushing the AI agenda on us. Every time they finish one aspect of the New World Order, once they finish a room in this enormous house that they call the New World Order, and they start to work on another room in the big house, they invite you to go to that room in the big house so that you can be used to all the noise you're going to hear with the hammers and the nailings and the saws going off. Example, when they were going to start pushing and blurring the lines of gender roles within society, they knew that in order for them to push this agenda, they had to first destroy the family. So in order to destroy the family, you can't just come out and say family is whack. We as the government, we see that as a threat to national security. Families are a threat to national security. Therefore, we need for you, if you are a family, to go ahead and separate. We need to break all that up. Okay? We can't have that. So what do? They start making, first of all, the father figure whack. Your Huxtable was your last real good father figure on your television programming. And right after that, they started making the father figure the joke. All right. As Cosby went out, the Bundys came in. All right. And Homer Simpson. That replaced your Huxtable because they couldn't leave you with the Huxtable. They can't make the father figure a positive role model in the home, and it can't make him a necessity when you're trying to destroy the family unit. No, you have to make the father a joke. Make him a non-necessity, a non-factor. So that's what you do. You break down the morale of the people by removing the male aspect from the home. But that's not good enough because masculine men are also a threat to national security. Therefore, you have to effeminize the role of the man. All right? Hence the alien agenda. They've been pushing the alien agenda so much and for so long because, see, people thought because there was going to be some disclosure of alien life. No, no, no. You had it all wrong. No. What they were trying to do is destroy your idea of male and female. And what is their magnum opus of this whole foolishness? Well, the guy who was all over the internet calling himself a genderless alien, paying for all this money to become a genderless alien. All right, that's the goal. That's the end game, is to destroy gender. So they want to push the non-gender bathrooms. Anyone can use the bathroom. They want to push all of that, and it's not because they care about the LGBT community. No, you guys don't get it. The LGBT community,
LGBTQRSTUV hyphen community, yes.
They're seen also as a threat to national security. But the powers that be know that they can use that to push the agenda with destroying the family unit. Think about it this way. What if all the men in the country decided tomorrow and woke up and said, hey, you know what, we're gay and we're in the wrong body and we want to be women?
Hey, what's wrong with that, Dex?
See, they're giving you the bread and circus that you want. They didn't create this. They're just pushing it because it suits the purpose. You got the masculine man gone. You got the family unit destroyed. You got people fat, sick, and nearly dead. All right.
Good movie, by the way.
And then you push forward with the truth of the matter after they destroyed you mentally with the idea of the whole gender thing and the whole alien thing. Then they smack you upside the head and start showing you that there's no such thing as aliens. I don't know if anyone's picked up on that or not. There has been a plethora of paranormal shows all over, not only just the internet, but on cable and everywhere, showing and demonstrating that all these alien abductions and things like that are nothing more than fallen angels and demons. They told you that they are. They even went as far as to try to push, just to see how far they could go, were erecting monuments to Baal and Beelzebub and Satan and Lucifer. They even put a show on TV called Lucifer. All right? They know exactly what they're doing. They want to get people so twisted in the mental that you don't even want to think anymore. You just want to have your entertainment and do the things you want to do. That's why they're in the process, without even telling you, they're making you think that they're not going to do it, but they're in the process of legalizing drugs in America. You mark my words, they're going to legalize drugs in America, just like Amsterdam. Yes, they're going to make it legal. They're just rolling out the methodologies to control it. The first step, you don't want to do it all at once. The first step was to allow certain states to say, you know what? Hey, weed is legal now. So now people are rushing to open up weed factories and weed stores and all that stuff. Soon, pretty much all the states are going to legalize the marijuana, because then that opens the door to rolling out other things. And then they're going to have that going. I'm telling you, we're a drug society because they've realized that drugs control the mind. And as long as people are worried about getting their next fix, their next hit, their next drink, their next smoke, then they're not worried about anything else. All right. So peep this. Now I'm going to tie this all back into the market. You ready for this?
Yep.
Okay. With all this other stuff outside of the market that we've been talking about going on, all right, this big old F5 tornado that's twirling around and tearing everything up in sight. Now this spills over to the market. What people don't realize is that the market has changed. They went ahead and removed the human aspect and element from your market and replaced it with machines and codes and algorithms, so that what you are looking at from day to day makes absolutely no more sense to you whatsoever. Think about it. If the retail investor is gone, right?
Yeah.
That's now, let me fill in the blank here. When I say retail investor, that is analogous to saying that there are no more consumers shopping on Saturday. All right. Your retail investor equals your retail customer, okay? Going to the local Walmart or Macy's or name your shopping center, fill in the blank. So if the retail buyer is gone from the market, how is it able to go to new all-time highs if there's no one buying it? Did anyone stop to think about it? Thank you. Did anyone stop to even think about that? They pulled the wool over your eyes. That's what they did. Everything is electronic now. Even your money, you don't even realize that your money, they're charging you a fee to convert your digital currency to physical, tangible fiat paper.
Right.
You go to the ATM machine, it tells you, we're going to charge you X amount of money to do this. That's why they don't keep money in banks anymore, because they know people try to get smart and say, you know what, I'm struggling, I'm going to go rob a bank. No, you're not. There's no money in it. All right, that's why the armored truck comes and they ship all that extra cash to the Federal Reserve. Then the Federal Reserve will in turn give them whatever they need to have cash on hand, which is very minimum. I think the number, if my memory serves me right, I think at any given time a bank may have no more than about $60,000 in cash at any given day. I don't care how big the bank is. If that.
Right. And that's only for the super big banks that still have those massive vaults in there. Typical banks, you'd be hard pressed to get more than 10 grand in cash.
Correct.
In fact, you'd have to order 9 out of 10 times. If you wanted $10,000 in cash or more, you have to sign a slip. You have to sign an STR, which is a suspicious transaction report, and then you have to wait a day or two for the bank to get delivery. They just don't have it.
No, they don't. And it's funny because everything now is controlled and manipulated. They have missed nothing. All right. Everything is a microcosm of the bigger picture. So they're controlling everything, even how much money is on hand at the bank.
Right.
All right. Even the air that you're breathing is manufactured. No one wants to believe this. That's why they have weather futures. The weather is manipulated. All right, I don't know if people have been watching the news, but overseas they've been having rains and stuff that are just flooding entire towns and villages away.
Yeah,
it's raining heavier than it's ever done on record.
California, man. Can you map the correlation between the California rains and the weather index?
Yes, you can.
Pretty sure you could.
Yes, that's why they're called weather futures, and they're not available to the general public.
Look at that.
That's right. They're not gonna let you play in their backyard. They didn't create that for you. They created that for them. You cannot open up a trading account and say, I'm gonna trade with them. No, you're not. Where? Show me the broker that lets you trade weather futures. Show me. That's like trading pork bellies. If your broker lets you trade pork bellies, you got to explain to me how you doing that. You must.
Then you and I need to create one, bro. You and I need to create we need to become a broker that trades weather futures and pork belly, and an additional, maybe a better version of the hack index as well.
I would love to, but too bad they made it illegal. You know, the government has to control everything.
They don't like competition, Dex. What can I tell you?
They're protecting us from ourselves because we don't have the mind to do it.
You sound like a terrorist. You sound like a terrorist. I don't like the way you're sounding, Dex. You're talking about personal freedom again. I don't like it.
You know what's sad though? I was at the Whole Foods store the other day and was talking to someone, and it's funny how people are waking up and they know exactly what's going on, and you know, it's sad that you're being charged a water bill, but you can't even drink the water. Isn't that crazy? We all pay a water bill, but we can't drink the water. What's that about? You have to put all these expensive filters on your water to filter out all the medications and the diseases. I mean, you might as well be in a third world country.
Yeah, I get filtered water delivered to the house because there's no way I'm drinking tap. You can't even drink it. It's God knows what the hell's in it.
You'll go to the emergency room. You can't do it. Yeah. And it's sad because, we're protecting ourselves with the water. What do we do with the air? We have to breathe the air and the chemtrails. And they won't stop.
Dude, you ever take a goldfish and put it in tap water? What happens to it? It dies.
True that. Yes, it does. And our society is dying too. Have you noticed the lunacy that's been going on? Now, I wanted to talk about this the last time I was on your show, but it just, things just leave your mind sometimes. I think it's all the chemtrail spraying. Makes me forget. But I wanted to talk about the next wave of what they're doing with pushing this whole AI thing now, because they're really pushing it hard body. Okay, guess what's in now? They've made lunacy in. That's the in thing. It's cool to be a lunatic. It's cool to be on all types of mental medications. That's cool now. Look at the movie The Suicide Squad. What do you have? Two of the coolest characters on there, and you can lie if you want to. If you into comic books or superheroes and villains, you can't front and say that you're not just totally in love with the Joker and his girlfriend. Come on.
Hey, leave Harley Quinn out of this.
Leave Harley Quinn alone, right? But let's break down the Joker and Harley Quinn. All right? First of all, full disclosure, I've always loved the Joker. All right? Full disclosure. All right, I go way back in the day with the race car track, the Batman race car track, and you had the Batman car and the Joker's car. And those were only two cars on the track, and they were going around and around a little circle, and that was way back in 1975. All right, so with that being said, so people don't say in this politically correct world, oh, he's just Joker phobic. He's hating on the Joker. No, love
You're racist against Jokers.
I'm racist against Jokers.
You're racist against clowns.
Exactly. But peep it. Who is the Joker? Well, the Joker is insane. Out of any other character on the Batman show, they're all insane. Even Batman, but that's another topic. But the Joker in particular.
Do not talk
I know. But the Joker, though, you have to admit, he is extremely, I can't even say narcissistic. He's on another level. His mind is not even here. He's Manson and all of those guys rolled into one.
Why so serious, Dex?
Now, how about this one? All that flapping of the gums is going to get you hurt.
You want to know how I got these scars?
How bad do you want this? And my thing is, the messed up part is he's the coolest dude on the show, but he's the most sickest human being on the planet. And he's cool now. Harley Quinn. What did they do? They said, okay, how do we sell lunacy? I know. Let's create a sexy character, a sexy woman, and we'll call her Harley Quinn, and she'll be more out of her mind than the Joker. But people will love her, and it will be cool and sexy to be insane now. All right? These people in real life will be in straitjackets somewhere, in a rubber room. All right? Or, I know, I take that back. That's back in the 50s. They don't do that no more. Now what they do is they put you in a vegetative state.
Yeah.
They veg you out with these very powerful medications that have you walking around like a zombie and drooling at the mouth. I'm not making this up. I'm talking about firsthand knowledge of this. Seen it with my own eyes. If you've ever been to a psych ward or a detox ward, then you'll know what I'm talking about.
It's a great place to go people watching, that's for sure.
They're zoned out of their minds. They don't even know you're there. All right? So, with that said, it's cool now to be a nut. Now, what you guys don't get is, now, why is this being sensationalized? Why are they showing you lunacy? See, people are missing the point. When you go on World Star and you see all these clips lately, it seems like every police officer in the country now is killing someone on the job, shooting an innocent man who's unarmed. It would make it seem that all the police officers are lunatics. They're insane. They're out of their mind. And not just the police officers, but society as a whole. Yeah. Because what do you see online going viral? People committing suicide. All right? Suicide online in real time. How are we going live now to try to encourage people and give, wisdom and knowledge and understanding and deal with topics. We're trying to do something good and positive. But here they are pushing lunacy. They say, okay, I'm about to commit suicide. I'm on my way out, but am I going to get some views?
Hey, man,
it's all about views.
It is. It's all about views. It's all about lunacy. Now, in terms of lunacy, bro, we got 15 minutes left. Actually, a little less than that. Let's talk markets, brother. What's going on? What do you see? What's crack-a-lacking? What's on your radar?
More lunacy. Here's how it's looking. Just when you thought the NASDAQ was going to go down, I really thought it was. They won't let the market fall. I am living proof today they will not let the market fall. Right into the close, the NASDAQ turns on a dime and rallies into the close and closes at a new intraday high.
Yep.
All right, markets are at an all-time high. All right. The only thing that is a little squeaky on the wheel is ticker symbol XIV and the Dow futures. All right, they didn't play ball with the with the NASDAQ and the S&P today. They didn't play ball. So that is problematic. All right, they can set the agenda to Take Back Friday happens when the market's been down all week. You'll get a bounce because people are taking some money off the table. They want to, go and drink and do what they do on the weekend. This situation is different because this was a pushing up of the market into new highs on the close. Likewise, the central banks attacked gold and silver ferociously, unrelentingly this week. They would not stop selling the metal. But I have some good news in all of this. You know what the good news is? The good news is you can stack your physical.
Let's talk about how to stack that physical, brother.
Before that, though, I have to warn you, the selling is not over. The selling in gold and silver is not over. The bank needs to do some more selling because they're trying to prop up this dollar, and they're struggling this time around. It's getting harder and harder to prop the dollar up. Yeah. So this is very interesting. I will say this, though. Don't fall in love with this rally in your euro, because it's looking like your euro is going to get whacked. In addition to the euro getting whacked, I think when the euro gets whacked, that is what is going around. It's going to be a correlation between that turning down and gold turning up. Gold will probably, if we can hold 1,200 next week, then we should be able to consolidate for a while and drift back up slowly. If we close below 1,200, though, yes, we're going to fall at least $100 in the gold market. Silver as well. Silver is weaker than gold. I was warning that silver was going to go to $16, and that's what it did. It hit $16.23 today.
Yeah.
I did warn you guys ahead of time. So that's what's setting up. Also, the gold miners, GDX and GDXJ, looking absolutely pathetic. I warn everyone on that. I do not think the decline is over yet. I will run the system update over the weekend, and I'll see what's up. I'll keep everyone posted as to when I think that market is turning. I will say it does appear that a bottom is being built. So we're in the bottoming out process, and we could have a huge capitulation before that's over with. So just be prepared for that. Same thing with Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is going to pull back a little bit too here. So be advised, all right? I have a philosophy of taking profits along the way, and you want to get in the habit of doing that. If you're greedy, like I say, pigs get slaughtered, you'll give back all your profits. Don't do that. Don't do that, all right? So right now my trajectory for gold is it's in danger of dropping below 1150, depending on just how bad this selling will go. Silver is in jeopardy of falling below 15. So we're going to see exactly how this thing plays out next week, but it ain't looking pretty. As far as selling May and go away with the stock market, you do that this year at your own peril. That hasn't really worked in years.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to work this year either. There's too much political pressure to keep everything afloat. And I don't think it's going anywhere. As far as Ethereum, I want to be able to start tracking that. I use CoinDesk to get my Bitcoin data. If someone knows where I can get Ethereum data, open, high, low, and close,
ETH, buddy,
then go ahead and
I think ETH has it, man.
Send me a link. Show me what's up, because I need the data in a certain way. And if it can't come to me the way I need it, then I can't use it. But if I can get the data for it, I will start.
I don't know how you want it, Big Daddy.
Open, high, low, and close. That's what I need on a daily basis, and I need historical data for it.
That's easy.
Going back as far as you can get it. If someone can get that to me and give it to me every day, I guarantee you I can put it into the system and start spitting out and start doing videos on the Ethereum for you too.
Yeah.
My only issue is I just need the data, and I'll hook y'all up.
That's what's up. With that being said, my man, jobs report looked pretty solid this week.
Yeah, the machines are really getting paid, man. If you're a robot right now, you can find a job, man. Straight up.
Great point.
Windows 10. If you're Windows 10, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all by nationality now. What are you? Oh, I'm a Mac. I'm from Mac. What are you? Oh, I'm Windows. And what are you? Oh, I'm Linux. And what are you? Depending on what brand you are, what computer nationality you are, will determine what kind of job you're able to get out here.
Yeah.
But if you're a human being and you're made up of carbon, you're carbon-based entity, you can hang it up. Ain't no job.
Absolutely.
And it's going to get worse. That's why they're pushing the universal income, because once the computers are rolled out 100%, there will be no more labor force. They don't need you. They only need people to maintain the machines.
Yep.
And if you can't do that, they don't need you. So there will be no workers. Everyone will be on a fixed income given to you by the state.
Sounds like paradise, man.
They're going to sell it that way, and a lot of people think it's going to be. They're already rolling it out in some places in Europe right now.
For those who love to be on the bottom and love to skim off the system, yeah, they're going to love it. But for the rest of us who are producers, we're going to hate it.
Yeah, unfortunately. It is what it is. It's always good to be here, man. I'm sorry. I hope you didn't go over time.
No, we're all good. Hey, man, plug your site, plug how people can follow you and how they can join the Trading Academy. Because here's the thing. Why don't you explain real quick, man, the best way to counteract what the central banks are doing, how to play the market and take the winnings, put it in physical.
Yes, that the best way to do that is to learn how to trade these markets so that you can buy more physical, and so you can have an additional stream of income for you and your family. That is the best way to do it. Postwavetrading.com. We have a trading study course that you can purchase, and your monthly subscription comes with free access to yours truly live coaching during the trading day. You also have access to the Learning Academy. All the classes are downloadable, so you can watch them at your leisure and all that good stuff. So I've put a lot of time and work and energy into it, and it's yours if you want it.
Absolutely. And in the interest of full disclosure, we get nothing out of promoting it. We just believe in Dex's work. He does a great job. There's a lot of happy people that have traded with him. With that being said, guys, we've come to the end of the broadcast, and you can again follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money. Check us out on Facebook, Rogue Money, and RogueMoney.net, which is the main site that where all the action is. And also, guys, you could also check out our sponsors. Again, if you're suffering from debt, you're facing a lot of issues with your credit, or you just need a better credit score, or you just need to kick the collections agencies and the creditors in the nuts. Check out myfreedomnow.us, myfreedomnow.us, where they go out and make a difference for you and get your credit fixed, get the score you deserve. myfreedomnow.us. With that being said, we're at the end of the broadcast. We'll be back next week with a new guest. Dex will be back on Tuesday on the Trading Terrordome, so tune in for that. That'll be an awesome broadcast as well. We cover a plethora of things as well as trading. So it's always an interesting show. You never know. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
And I may show up. You never know. You may see me.
You never know. You never know. With that being said, CJ, we are over and out. Take it away, buddy.